I had a moment in time where I stopped, and I would literally have dreams of spitting like crazy lyrics, and then when I would wake up, I couldn't remember the lyrics, but in the dream, the lyrics were so fire. Jay-Z's responsible for incarcerating my brother, Tory Lanez and shit, because of not signing to Rock Nation. Not everyone knows that Jay-Z is like a federal government rat. We know you watching. Jay-Z is a fucking bad guy, dog. Take care of your kids, bro. They're looking for you. Wait till the footage comes out in Diddy's home, man. Like,
we're gonna find out.
Just wait till you see the footage. There's gonna be a lot of people you wouldn't think that would be attending these type of things.
Sliding in the studio, on my album coming soon. Until we get this rap money, trap gon' have to boom.
We in the building. Welcome back. THC on air with Air, the Aircast. Couple episodes in, you already know what time it is. But today, very special guest. Industry Blows out now. Go check that out. Choco Valens in the motherfucking building.
Thank you. 305, yes. Representing
with the Dolphins.
We out here with the vintage.
Incredible with the vintage. Very vintage.
Thank you.
I like to begin with the important questions because the people, the world, the fans, the industry, the Miami Dolphins want to know.
Word.
Why Choco? Do you like chocolate? Is there vanilla Valens? Is there mocha Valens? Caramel Valens?
Well, the origin from Choco comes from a bounty hunter that was in LA and shit. And he died in Vegas and shit, like, in...
Real life?
Yeah, like, this guy was outrageous and shit. Like, they made a movie about him.
No way! Yeah. What's the movie called?
Domino.
Nah, wait, it's a recent movie, right?
Nah, it's like...
2006 type shit, like in the 2000s. Yeah, that's a badass movie, super action movie. It's incredible.
Mickey Rourke is in it.
Isn't the main character a lead? It's a lead, it's a female girl?
Yeah,
Isn't Domino a girl?
Yeah, it's a female.
Oh my god, so that's based on Choco, the real life bounty hunter?
Yeah.
He comes after her? Is that what's going on?
Well, like, the chick is, like... from, like, I think London or something, and she wants to become a bounty hunter as well. And, like, the character Choco plays, I think it's from Edgar Ramirez and shit. And he's working with Mickey throughout the whole film. They work together. And they just basically go around LA just, like, kicking ass and shit and, like, arresting motherfuckers that, like, have warrants and shit.
Wow, that is crazy. So that's the inspiration for Choco. And I think I have an idea for the explanation for the second part of the name. Can you break that down for the audience?
Yeah, Valens is the last name that originates from the doo-wop singer Richie Valens from the 1950s. He died in an airplane incident and shit with, I believe it was... Who was in the airplane with him, man?
We'll include it here just in case, so don't feel pressure to remember. But he didn't die in an airplane with people.
Yeah,
and that's crazy. But he's a banger, so I have to ask them because from that I have to ask.
Yeah, no problem.
Capitano or Marinero?
As far as like if
Marinero or Capitan is kind of the order. Marinero or Capitan, he says that in the record. Marinero or
Capitan. In depth, I don't know Richie's whole, like, catalog and shit.
That's crazy because you use La Mamba a lot in your rhyme schemes and a lot of records and Mamba.
Yeah, I know definitely, like, La Bamba and, like when I seen the film where Diamond Phillips played Richie and shit, that's what really gravitated my attention towards taking the name because the biopic took, like, my inspiration to a different, like, atmosphere as far as, like, understanding what's the possibility of being able to be that so young like Richie Valens was at 16 and be the fucking biggest, like, star like he was. And like, there was just so many, like, instances where he would, like, help his family and it was just dope. So the film really just inspired me to, like, go after the name and everything.
And it's unique to unite those both things together. So you've had that name for a minute. How long have you had that rap name? Was that your first rap name?
Nah, it wasn't my first. I had like ridiculous like other names, but like
Oh, ridiculous other.
I had like ridiculous other names and shit.
What was the first one? What was the first one?
Oh, I think it was JOK. That was like the first one.
Is that an abbreviation?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I used to jump on records and be like, "Yo, it's J dot O dot K dot juggling obnoxious knowledge."
Knowledge.
Yeah, man.
That is dope. That is really
yeah.
cool. I like that a lot, actually. Okay.
Yeah,
And
back in
what's
the day.
another one? Just give me one other one. I know you said a ridiculous, so I can imagine how many that is.
Yeah, man. Like I think that was it. That
Okay,
was
so it was just JOK and then Choco Valens.
Yeah, yeah, that was the one that I came up with because
And it
I was
stuck.
I was reading the dictionary one day and I saw an interview where Havoc was trying to figure out his rap name and he said he was reading the dictionary and
Wow, Havoc.
he found the word Havoc and that's how he got his name.
Shout out Havoc if you're listening, and we know you are.
And I did the same thing and I just put words together and I came up with the acronyms and shit and I was just really into words when I was younger and shit and I thought that name was popping and shit.
Crazy. What kind of noodles would you eat for breakfast?
Man, chicken noodles and shit back in the day. I used to eat that shit a lot, man. Like I would fucking hijack that shit out the supermarket, like when I was in Canada and shit, man.
Can I ask you get the reference, right?
As far as
Because you mentioned that on the album, you have a one of the later records. I think in the second half, you said noodles for breakfast. This and that.
yeah. I think in the Cobain record.
Cobain, it's the outro. Yeah, the second half.
That's a
exactly.
personal record. Yeah, that joint, that Cobain record. is personal.
Honestly, that's crazy. We're talking about it now because one of my personal favorite records on the project, like the ones that like. Crazy that I was like, hold on, I have to bring your verse back. I was like, no, you didn't say that. Was the first one that you did that to me on? Well, you did that a couple times, but honestly, I brought this one back from the beginning. The one where you and Jax, the wolves creeping. I was like, at the beginning, there was a little vibe going on, and like I told you before we started the podcast, I listened to albums without looking at the feature list and knowing when the features come out. I used to do that beforehand, and I'd get excited, and I would see the strategic. Oh, okay, the artist is putting this song to set up the whole feature, the Drake feature. Oh, I get how they're doing it. Nowadays, I let it surprise me like a movie. I don't know when the features come out, so when I'm listening to the project from the first time, from beginning to the end, it's like, oh my God, Jax is on this record, Mowgli's on this record, No Emotion's on this record.
Yeah,
it's
straight up.
crazy. Dude, I swear, when No Emotion came out, I was like, nah. But fast forward to what I was about to say, or rewind. So the Jax record, off the rip, you guys have that little chant going on at the beginning, you and him. Is it back and forth, or just you on the hook? It's a little, I think he has like an ad-lib maybe or something.
Yeah, he has an ad lib
At the very beginning, and I was like, nah, what's going on here?
He had an ad lib on there, but we wouldn't we didn't think anybody would hear it, but he's on there though. He's on there.
Right, so it has just a vibe. There's an aura to the beginning of that record, and I was like, hold up, what's going on here? So I bring it back, and y'all murked that. So that's a fucking solid record. Then you have the one after, and then right after it is the Mowgli one. There's one in between, and then it's the Mowgli one, and that shit's the Mowgli one. Y'all killed that shit too. Shout out Mowgli. Facts.
Shout out to Josh.
I bring this all up to say that as much as I love those records, one of the ones that stands out to me a lot, and that I kind of took something away with it after was the Cobain record, which is the outro for the project. Incredible outro. Incredible selection to make that an outro, and just the way you kind of selected, you know.
Shout out to Chi too for producing that.
Shout out Chi. We're gonna add his information right here if he's on social media. It's gonna be right there. So I did want to ask about that because you get really introspective on that record, and the whole record, the whole album is raw. There's a lot of energy, a lot of disses, but I love that record because that record I learned a lot about you. The other records I learned you fucking hate Jay-Z. That's for sure. We're gonna talk about that later on.
Yeah,
facts. Fuck Jay-Z. According to Choco and Nas.
Fuck Jay-Z.
Yeah, according to Choco and Ether.
Big facts.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. But right now, I want to talk about that record, Cobain, because I got to learn a lot about you from the way you feel about success, from the way you feel about life, the pressures. God. Do you believe in God?
Yeah, absolutely. Allah is definitely inspiration. You know, the teachings I learned from Christ as well. And those are like the two entities I deal with the most.
You think there's a separation, or you think it's all one?
I think it's all one, man.
Facts. I gotta dap you up for that because that touches my heart. I was baptized Catholic, but my old boy raised me with Jehovah Witness ideologies and that mentality, and we used to have Bible studies on the Jehovah Witness, Bible. And it's just I look at religion from a lot of different aspects. I took a world religions class senior year, and it changed my life and my whole mentality. Religion creates world wars, and it's not about one specific thing. They're all different languages saying the same story. And I'm just, it warms my heart when people look at it like that. It hurts me and it shatters my heart when people are like, no, but this is the one way and there's only one way and it's this or that. There's no other way. If you believe in any other type of religion, you're evil. You're a demon. You're manipulated. You're brainwashed. It's like, no, what are you talking about? What are we talking about right now?
Right.
Like that's just what the Illuminati wants. They want to separate us. Religion and vagina are the two leading causes for world wars. It's ridiculous, like it's all set up for that reason. It just breaks my heart, but then I ain't gonna lie, I had to dap you up for that because that's incredible. That record, you got really introspective, and I love how you were very selective. Did you do that on purpose? Did you save that record for the end because you knew it was a record where you had to talk your shit?
Yeah, like I felt it just was the period for the end of a sentence as far as like the conclusion of the album, because the whole inspiration came from derogatory things that I experienced in my journey becoming the hip hop artist I am today, and like it's just my frustration, it's my pain, it's my truth. So like I felt like Cobain, that record that Chi made at that moment, man, like I was going through a lot of stages of depression and different ideas of what I thought the game was and what it could have been. But when I made the realization, when I truly figured out what it was, I was disappointed to a certain degree that I couldn't fathom, and the only way I can transmute that negative energy was writing Cobain and just killing myself at the end of the song.
That's crazy that you answered, that you brought that up, because the way the project ends, when it ended, I was like, there's no way he plays anything after this record. That has to be the end of the project. And then sure enough, I pick up my phone and I look at it, I'm like, it's the end. Wow, this guy's a genius. I just look at it.
Appreciate it.
That's very, very well selected, man, and great choice, man. I as somebody who grew up with music, hip hop specifically, but then appreciate things like that, appreciate movies, appreciate writing. I think I don't have anything that I've screenwritten out, but I like to think of myself as a screenwriter and a writer altogether. So I feel like that's a part of writing. Like it's strategy, it's order. I feel like that falls into writing. You're writing it in your head. You're writing the order of the project.
Straight up.
I do want to ask though. So these records, when you make a project, when you made this project, Industry Blows, out now, streaming everywhere. Check it out right there. Do you have these records out beforehand, or do you have an idea for a project and you're like, I'm gonna make records for this idea? How does that work? Is it something that comes out organically and you have records already recorded that you say this is gonna work great for a project? Can you explain that a little bit? Expand on the process.
Absolutely. It definitely boils down to just doing as much as I can when I'm inspired, and when I feel I'm good and ready to look back at what I've done. There's usually a good handful of records, and I start imagining imagery as far as what can go in front of what record, and as far as what sounds good concept-wise for a certain project. Some songs don't make every project. Some songs have to be for other projects, but
some songs stand alone.
Yeah, some songs they stand alone. Where
Art of War streaming now.
That will usually end up in another
body
album.
Yeah.
Actually, like Art of War is gonna be on another album I'm dropping in the summer.
It's crazy how that works.
Yeah.
How God works. You're writing the timing of the conversation. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to I Am Hip Hop. Shout out to I Am. He killed his part on that shit too. And yeah, man, it varies. And during the time, I wasn't really aiming to really drop Industry Blows. I was trying to focus on more of a unison general hip hop vibe, but it's just where the game brought me. Yeah.
When you say unison general hip hop vibe, you mean like a collaboration project?
Well, just more of awareness towards bigger issues, because not everyone knows that Jay-Z is like a federal government rat. That he works with a lot of lawyers that push artists in prison. And
like that chica, right? That one lady that's I think she's a Hispanic.
Yeah, Doris
Desiree Perez.
Yeah,
Desiree Perez.
Desiree Perez.
Shout out
Yeah.
Desiree Perez if you're listening, and we know you are. What's up with you, man? Come on, tighten up, little mama.
Yeah, yeah, she was the one that was responsible for putting Griselda Blanco away, and
R.I.P.
my OG doesn't approve of her, and he was saying a lot of shit about her when he left the courthouse after Tory's case and shit. And I always had my questions about Jay-Z before Tory officially blew the fuck up like he did, and it just came into more light, man, and it just fulfilled my questionable theories about where he stood in the game and shit.
That's crazy. That's definitely crazy. Free Tory, can you
Yeah,
say
free
that?
Tory for sure. Free Tory.
I just don't necessarily have a real life relation with him, and I ain't on no internet groupie shit. But I'm against the Illuminati and the man. I think the American prison system is one of the worst of all time. I think all those people locked up should definitely be in a better situation, and that whole thing. I guess you think. So he did not shoot the shorty, right?
Nah. He's not. He wasn't responsible for that shit. And the evidence is not even stacked against him. If anything, the evidence is showing that he didn't do it. And
on your project, you kind of explain. Hove kind of did this all to set him up. You say that off the ripper, right? Do you disclose? You address that, right? On the track in the beginning. I don't know if it's the intro. It might be the intro.
Yeah,
the record right after the intro.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm letting people know that Jay-Z's responsible for incarcerating my brother, Tory Lanez and shit, because of not signing to Roc Nation, and it hindered their plan. And Masons or Illuminati or executive producers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, they have their own agendas, what they want to do with the talent, and if you don't do what they want to do, they're gonna box you in when you can't make money no more. And they do this to everybody. They don't like to be exposed. They don't like to be, brought into the light. But a lot of this shit has been going on for a long time. And Tory, is my brother. This shit didn't concern me at first. I didn't give a fuck about what these people were doing. But when you bring my family into it, it's like my blood. Like, these people looked out for me when I was homeless. You know what I mean? They looked out for me when I didn't know who to look up to in the game. Their family is my family, so they crossed that line, and it's just waging all-out war for Sean Carter and anybody who rolls with him.
Facts. That's I guess that's the stance, and if you ain't know, now you know.
Straight up,
Chico. And that's the bottom line, because Choco says so. That's actually hard. Have you ever said that? Choco says so, like Stone Cold says so.
Just take it off.
We're just talking about wrestling.
Just take it off the Rock.
Take it off the Rock?
Yeah.
The Rock doesn't say that, though. That's the Stone Cold thing.
Oh, you're right. Damn.
Stone Cold says that to try the Rock. The Rock's my favorite wrestler of all time, but at the end of the day, Stone Cold shitted on him.
Yeah.
He beat him 2 times out of 3 in WrestleMania, but the last time The Rock got him. But Stone Cold.
He says that's the bottom line because Stone Cold says so. Yeah.
I like it a lot better if it's just that's the bottom line because Choco says so.
I might do that for you. I might do.
That's do it for yourself, bro. Yeah,
I might do it.
Look, y'all listen to them, be like, he did it for me.
It's a good idea, though.
Crazy idea.
If I do that ad lib, it's because my brother right here said it.
Hey, man, you're such a genius. I'm surprised you didn't say it already, bro. That's just fucking madness. But I was gonna ask, why is Nas a better role model than Jay-Z? But I feel like you've already answered it.
Yeah. Nas never really directed anyone, or at least anything hindering wise to the game, man. This guy was definitely a real person, like DMX. Like, even DMX would expose Jay-Z and let everyone know. Like, in the beginning of the cold case, I have a clip where DMX is explaining that Jay is very talented, but he's about the money, and he doesn't have a soul. And this is information that goes underwater for the media, goes underwater for the public, and people
swept under the rug.
People fail to forget that he gave herpes to Rihanna when she was like 14 and stuff.
Hove has herpes?
Yeah, and this is the reason why Chris Brown may had a domestic issue with her.
Because Chris Brown has herpes? Is a whole herpes connection? Yeah. You know how they say the Bill Belichick coaching branch is the whole herpes branch?
You know what I'm saying? And Ramir is a son of Jay-Z, and Jay-Z has a son named Ramir who's looking for him. So.
Yeah, you say that on the record.
Yeah,
I learned that from you. I was like, Ramir.
like Jay-Z is a fucking bad guy. Doug, take care of your kids, bro. They're looking for you, bro.
Definitely take care of your kids. Everybody worldwide, take care of your kids.
You be this solidified industry giant and you treat your son like dog shit, like, and like not take away anything from him taking care of Blue. Maybe he loves Blue more than he loves Ramir. That's his own personal issue.
I think that's pretty clear.
But
shout out Ramir if you're listening. We know you are.
But yeah, man,
I'm on the pod. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. But yeah, man, Nas has always been a better influence, 100 more times than Hove, and I just never heard anything off about Nasir, man. Like Nas is one of the most intricate teachers in the game, and I think he just followed the script from day one.
Nah, bro, I don't like Jay-Z.
What
the next part is
what's the next?
Ask about Choco. He crazy.
Oh, that's something crazy.
Do you write your records? Do you write your records, or you kind of just go off freestyling?
Nah, I write them. I just don't memorize them anymore.
Facts, because there's a lot. You're a workhorse. You're constantly putting out shit.
Yeah, man.
It's hard to keep up with everything.
Yeah, like right now we got the show coming May 18th, Industry Blows album release party. Where we got No Emotion, we got Orion, D.U. Ivan, we got Jags, a lot of Gators who are performing out there. John Apocalypse, Beatbox, King Tetris is gonna be there as well. And for certain moments like this, I definitely always got to take time out from creating to just focus on memorizing, because it's definitely work, and I didn't have enough sufficient time to memorize in the fashion that I wanted to deliver the records, so I stopped memorizing them and I just started delivering them.
Time is the most important thing we have, bro. We could have all the money in the world. If we don't have time, it's pretty much worthless.
Time is money.
Word up.
It's more valuable than money. Money is just it's very powerful and true and valuable, but at the end of the day, time is incredibly more important. If somebody tells you, "Hey, here's $5 billion," but the catch is you're gonna die in 2 days. You know, hey, at least you could put on your family, but it's like, damn, that kind of sucks. You know, me, I'll hear that, I'll be like, homie, I'm gonna make $5 billion in my lifespan. Relax. I don't need 2 days. I don't need to die. Holla at me later.
Straight
you
up.
need $5 billion? Come on, write me a check. I got you. We'll work something out. But it's just, you know, time is so much more valuable than money because that's all we got. So help me do this one then. Or actually, we'll talk about that after. How long have you been kickboxing? Do you kickbox?
Nah, but I've been boxing like when I was like younger and shit. Always been like training and shit.
You did like classes and shit?
Yeah, I did like a couple classes and shit.
That's
I
great.
did for like about half a year and shit.
Can you say kick and perform like Andrew Tate?
Yeah, kickboxing everyone like Andrew Tate, man. Shout out to him. Yeah, man.
Andrew Tate, if you're listening, we know you are.
Yeah. We're all fighting the Matrix and shit. Yeah.
Do you fuck with Andrew Tate? My dad just asked off camera.
Yeah. I fuck with Andrew, man. I think he definitely shows presence of a good role model for the youth and for people that need advice in certain things and shit.
So, is there anyone in the industry? You know, you like Nas. Is there anybody else in the industry that you think isn't scandalous? In my hood, we say Scandinavians. When people are scandalous, they're like, "Oh, he's Scandinavian." Is there anybody you think that isn't, you know, Scandinavian?
I mean, man, there's wait till the footage comes out in Diddy's home, man. Like,
we're gonna find out.
Just wait till you see the footage. There's gonna be a lot of people you wouldn't think that would be attending these type of things, but. Man, it's very few, man. I know Ice Cube is definitely another real one. I know 50's another real one. I can't really think about anyone else in the game. I mean, let me not say that because you got Chino and Cell, you got Immortal Technique, you got Talib Kweli, you
That's
got
cool. Just some names off the top that you
let
could
me
think
like
of. The first ones that come to mind. I'm sure there's a lot of real people. You feel
yeah,
me?
yeah. Like
And I do think
Five
it's hard
Done.
to draw real opinions on people without really knowing them. You feel me? And meeting them. Because at the end of the day, the internet's powerful, media's powerful, fucking hearsay, she say shit's powerful. Like at the end of the day, like for me personally, there's so many people in my life that have heard so many things about me, and then when they meet me, to this day, they meet me and they're like, damn. You're actually nothing like I expected you, or nothing like they tell me about you, or nothing like how you act online or in your music. It's like, well, I make music and I'm a rapper, so that's I'm an artist that raps, not a rapper. I like to specify that. I've been doing that since I first started making music because it's deeper than just rap. The reason why I'm so good at rapping is because a lot of different genres influence me. You have a lot of rock influence. You fucking killed a bunch of rocks, sounding like records. Do you have
Word.
any? You even say Spanish words a lot too throughout your music, but you don't have a full Spanish record out yet, right?
Nah, not at all.
Not yet.
I definitely like to always entertain the Spanglish aspect in my music, cause I'm Colombian. You feel me? And
Have you ever been to Colombia?
yeah, it's been like 10 years though.
Crazy. What part of Colombia do you know that you're from? If you know.
Yeah, I was in Cincelejo.
That's where you visited? Is that where your family's from?
Yeah, that's where my OG from.
So, you still have family there?
Yeah. I'm trying to bring them all down, man, but they don't want to leave and shit.
Maybe just for vacation?
I want them all to live
You
out
want
here.
them to live here?
Yeah.
I have friends that moved to Colombia to live there, so it's yeah, from the United States. So just to give you an idea that they're wilding. I mean, I don't know. I thought they're wilding, but maybe it's not as bad as we think it is here because we're in America. We have a lot of good things going on for us, but
I mean, the women out there are beautiful, so I don't blame them. Maybe they found a shorty and they definitely wanted to move out there.
well, the guy specifically I'm speaking of is my age. He's my dog, and he does like on OnlyFans as a shorty, but he has mad shorties. Every single day he has a party and in a different mountainside crib overlooking an entire freaking.
That's the thing, like
The highest house in the mountain. My dog's killing it. Yeah, shout out Daron. I'm gonna just put his information for sure. He wants publicity. My dog. I'm gonna put his information right
what's to
here.
that guy?
Yeah, hi Leo Chico, my dog. He's killing it though. He's and he basically lives out there in Colombia. He's been there for like 2 years, if not no more. Doing his thing. Man, he comes back every now and then, but he's more in Colombia than he is there. I'm sure if we see his story right now, we're gonna have a clip of him right now.
Word.
Swipe back. So anyways, I do want to ask, because in your music, not just on the new album, but the older projects, you do a lot of, how can I say, because I love it, and I do something similar too. You pay tribute, where you take a lot of famous hip-hop classic bars or maybe lines, and you do your own take on it. Like you do the part where the big pun, in the middle.
Oh, word, yeah.
And you've done that with other, records too. We're gonna swipe back, and you do that a lot. And I do want to ask, at what point does it become a tribute to a classic versus jacking or biting bars? Do you think there's a line? Like, how do you feel about that?
I think it's more of a tribute, and me just
Facts, definitely a tribute, but I'm saying, where's the line? Where's the line between, like, because I do the same thing, and it's like, I feel like people that aren't, so technical, people that don't make music, they'll hear that and be like, oh, Big Pun said that, or Biggie said that. It's like, that's the point. That's literally what I'm trying to do right now. Like, I have a record that Deshaun Viano, I don't know if Deshaun Viano, Miami legend, he put me on a record, a project with a lot of different artists, and I hopped on that record, and it was a record I already had done called Doodle, and there I took the ladies love me, girls adore me, I said chicas love me, MILFs adore me. I mean, even the ones that never saw me, I kind of flipped it like my own way, and it's like, I don't think that's Jack and bars. I think that's paying tribute. You feel me?
right, yeah. But where's the line? Is what you mean?
That was more my question. Like, is there a line? Like, you feel me? Like,
Yeah, I think there definitely is. Just to elaborate, I would never literally take the whole line the way a certain legend said it and not flip it my own way. I would think that was just something that only like Jay-Z would do, and like in
Shout out home, listening. I know you are.
you know what I'm saying? I take these lines, and people know I try to make it as coherently, abundantly clear as possible when I do it, that I'm taking the line and I'm trying to enhance it by 2 times more.
No, it's definitely clear. That's what I'm saying. You're clearly playing trivia and completely flipping it and doing your own thing. Like it's just the one bar that plays trivia and lets you know, and then it's your complete different like remix.
Crossing the line is definitely what Jay-Z did with Biggie's lines. There's just an endless amount of ridiculous lines that this man took from Biggie. Like this guy has a ritual, like Beanie Siegel said. This guy would take Jay-Z, this guy Jay-Z would take Biggie's chain, and he would put it on, and then he would go in the booth and recite Biggie's lyrics and shit. And there's a bunch of lyrics from
He said that in an interview?
Beanie Siegel said that about Jay.
We're gonna swipe to that right now.
For lack of better terms, a little ritual. When he was working on his albums, he would wear Biggie chain. His Cuban with the Jesus piece. Jay rocked that. That little ritual right there, that thing he did. Jay ain't had no process.
But that is crazy. I learned a lot of anti-Jay-Z knowledge from you. I don't want to say propaganda because it's clearly information because we just saw the clip right now.
Yeah, but here to expose that fucking piece of shit. A lot of people don't know anything about Sean. What the fuck is dirty past? Fucking niggas and shit. We no longer want to participate and not telling the truth anymore. I'm not a fucking fan anymore. I'm more of a psychopathic fan now.
You're gonna see this with Beyonce in like a hot tub or whatever they do in the fellatio state, and they're gonna be like, who is this guy in the Leatherface mask trying as Choco Valens? Oh my God, he's gonna kill us. Yeah, shout out Beyonce too.
I mean,
what's up, little mama?
What's up? Make sure you hit him up, B. We out here.
Oh,
Beyonce.
Is that her on the cover? Is that her on the cover?
Yeah, that's B right there. That's Beyonce right there.
They're gonna see it here, but we have a physical copy right here for you guys to see what this. Yeah, it's gonna be right back where it was, so it's perfect. So I do gotta ask as well, what's the creative process like? Are you writing bars before you hear a beat? Do you need a beat first? Break that down for the audience.
I definitely need to hear the beat first. And just in that very moment, once I'm inspired to write, I just get my phone and I just start jotting shit down. Just a little bit of trees and spring water, and I get the pacing around. I just start writing and shit. It just comes like that easy, you know.
It never comes to you naturally, like without beats, where you're just kind of vibing, doing something, and like that actually goes great with that, and that's a great way to put that. Or like you hear, like sometimes I hear like just information, and I'm like, that's so crazy that he did that or she does that, and then I'll my mind immediately finds a way to include that in like an easy bar, or I'm like, oh, that's a great way to rap about this in like a braggadocio way, that's just a very general example. But sometimes without beats, I'm thinking of things, and I'm already at the point where sometimes I'm like, coming up with bars that later on I could maybe use in something that I'm writing to a beat, or it's like something
Straight
that
up,
I just have already written. That you go through that too?
Oh, absolutely, bro. I'll be at work, or I'll be like somewhere ordering food or at the supermarket. It just comes out of nowhere. I'll get bars and shit that I'll find like intricate, and I don't know, man. It's crazy that you bring this up, because I think after a while, like, the mind develops this pattern where even if you don't do it, it's like the mind will throw it there. It's crazy. It's just when you do something for so long, it's like the mind regurgitates information automatically without you trying sometimes. It's a muscle, and it's just muscle memory.
Yeah, it's crazy how you could try to do anything you want, but if your mind forces you to do something, your mind forces you, to go to that place and push it out. It's kind of like bottling up your emotions. Sometimes you bottle up your emotions and you don't express yourself. You don't vent. You don't get that idea and those thoughts and those feelings out, and then you just explode on somebody innocent, and you're like, this is what I'm going through. It's just, it's very cancerous and unhealthy to hold things in, especially as artists.
Yeah, I had a moment in time where I stopped, and I would literally have dreams of spitting like crazy lyrics, and then when I would wake up, I couldn't remember the lyrics, but in the dream the lyrics were so fire, and I couldn't remember them when I woke up, and I like quit for like maybe a good 2 years before I got back into it and shit. But yeah, it haunts you, man. If you're really meant for that shit, like it haunts you and shit. Like certain things like that.
I don't think you quit. I think you more took time off. It's like, you know, took a hiatus, took some time off, you know, took some time to focus on other things. You know, we never quit.
Straight
You know,
up,
it ain't over
word.
till the fat lady sings when we're, you know, 6 feet deep or, you know, long gone.
Word, straight up. Yeah, I had to take a break. Some shit was not right at the moment.
You know, it happens. You know, you gotta you gotta know when to make an exit. If you never make an exit, you'll never make an entrance. If you never leave, you'll never be able to make an entrance. Chris Rock said that to, I forgot what comedian that I follow on podcast or whatever. And
Word.
I learned that last year and I was like, wow, that's so crazy. If you're constantly dropping, you're constantly in people's faces, you're constantly overexposing yourself, you're gonna play yourself out. People are gonna get tired of you. And there's a certain power in the mystique in not dropping all the time. There's a certain power and mystique in not letting people know what you're doing all the time.
Word, I feel you.
There's a certain mystique in wearing a leather face mask and not showing people what your face actually looks like. You know, like there's a lot of different ways, you know, to express ourselves and conceal ourselves, and not necessarily conceal ourselves, but tap into these other versions of ourselves. And it's not necessarily another version, but it's an extension of ourselves. Because whether it's our artist name, whether it's our musical platform, our creative platform, we're humans, but we're multifaceted. And that's, you know, I think it's important to kind of, you know, just acknowledge that and kind of break that down. I kind of
Straight
gets
up.
my mind going with that. So you really don't eat ham? You don't eat ham at all, right? Not bacon, no nothing. There's no exceptions.
Yeah, no exceptions at all. Like,
Did you ever do it before?
yeah,
It changed with your life changes and religion.
yeah, like back in the day, I used to eat like oxtail and like fucking carne asada.
Oxtails from pig. I thought oxtails was from oxes.
Well, I mean, it's just meat in general. Like, I just stopped eating chicken, like
You're
fish.
completely vegan.
Yeah, I'm about to complete like 3 years being alkaline. Like April 20th, I'm gonna be like 3 years completely like off of like dead like food and shit.
What were some of the first things that came to your body that you noticed from the way you felt when you made this change 3 years ago? Almost 3 years ago.
When I like usually now when I get sick, it's easier for me to get rid of a flu. Like it'll be gone within like a week or so.
So stronger immune system, you were able to combat flus and things like that. How about clarity? Like when you wake up?
Yeah, a lot
do you
more
feel
energy, a lot more
energy,
clarity, a
more
lot
focus?
more. I don't have no more fatigue, and I used to have like tremendous like panic attacks and shit, and that shit all stopped. And like when I get up in the morning, I had like mad energy and shit. I feel like more rested.
And what inspired that change for you?
Definitely when I got to a fight, man, I broke my ankle and shit, and I had to figure out why it occurred, and it was because of my acidic diet, and I realized my bone structure wasn't as strong as it used to be when I was younger and shit, and that made me want to like try to like boost like my whole immune system. Plus during the pandemic, the whole shit was like bugging me the fuck out. Like everyone like I knew was dying and shit.
This happened right around the time of the pandemic?
I broke my ankle in a fight and shit. Like
Pre-pandemic?
like right in the end of 2020, like November of 2020.
Wow.
And yeah, dog, and I took it as a moment to just figure out what I needed to do to get better and stronger and shit. And I took teachings from Dr. Sabi.
R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. And I think this is something that Nipsey Hussle wanted to like publicize in the documentary and shit. And I think it was in the works. He didn't get to do it, you know, unfortunately, because he died. But you know, rest in peace to him. And I got to learn like things from Victor Bowman, which is his son, and we had like a correspondence like through emails and shit, and he taught me like a lot of things and benefits that CMOS has to offer, and you know,
CMOS. I did that for
Yeah.
like a couple months. Felt really good. I take mad vitamins and shit. I drink a gallon of water a day. The CMOS
Yeah.
was just an extra expense, and I wasn't. I want to get back into it though because I did see the difference. It's just at the time I was fasting. I was only eating like maybe once a day, one solid time a day. A great feeling, but Now I'm kind of changing where I'm trying to do 200 grams of protein, 220 grams of protein a day. So I'm resulting to eating at least twice plus like one meal is like a protein shake damn near. So I'm trying to eat like 3 times a day. So I'm thinking maybe I can incorporate the sea moss. I don't think it has any protein, but I think it'll just be better for my overall health again.
Yeah, I've been taking it every day for the last 3 years almost.
Wow. And how do you take that? Explain for the audience.
Well,
What's your method?
I get it delivered from Crush Foster. Shout out to him, man. He's been helping me stay in the regimen as far as taking it in a vegan like capsule. So it has
So you're taking capsules of sea moss?
yeah, I take
Wow.
Irish sea moss of it because I used to make it myself with a gel, but
That's what I was taking, like a
yeah,
gel that was almost.
but it just takes too much fucking time and shit. And sometimes when you don't eat it, it goes bad. And sometimes when you get it, it's not
Facts. It
good.
got bad. That's why I feel it was like a chore to have it. 'Cause it
So
was like I'm eating only
there's
so much of
somebody
it.
who Dr. Victor Bowman was working with, which is Crush Foster, and then he was able to supply the capsules, and he has like a long list of Irish moss and sea moss and bird rock root and nettle leaf and just different herbs that just really cure cancer, diabetes, AIDS, just virtually everything that the government says that they can't cure, we can cure. I'm finding out and shit. And FDA, doesn't want people to know this shit, but it's truth out there, and that's the type of medicine and food I'm trying to put in the music to spread more awareness and shit.
That's all it's about, spreading awareness, not just making great music and things people could vibe to, but also having a message with not just our music, but our brand as us as artists. We're Jedis, we're people in the world that we gotta express this knowledge. It's not just about shitting on Jay-Z and putting that fucked up information out there. It's also about spreading this knowledge and helping us live better lives, because I just learned, like you said, like 3 or 4 different, things that you're taking from that root to all these things. I didn't know about that. When I edit this, I'm gonna go back and add all that shit to my, daily regimen. I'm gonna try it because it's all about that. We're only on this world for so long. Our temple's the most important thing we got, and it's like, why deprive yourself of trying things, even if it doesn't work for you? I recently realized that all superfoods is a whack statement. That's more Illuminati brainwashing, because a superfood for you might be a kryptonite for me. You feel me? So you got to get all this knowledge that you can, because it's about trying different things and just experimenting. So
Yeah,
I appreciate you breaking that down, not just for me, but for
sure.
the Air
Our
Force, the
bodies,
audience.
they're electric, man, and they need fruit and spring water, because if you feed something that's dead to a body that's electric, the body can't really get along with that DNA, and we're not compatible with the DNA of an animal and shit. That's why a lot of people die to like cancer and tumors and unfortunate things that spring up spontaneously out of nowhere, and people can't find an answer for. But it's really your fucking diet, yo. And I don't want to fucking tell us. It's just the food. If you just simplify the way you eat the food, you eliminate the disease, and the medicine is the food, and the kitchen's your hospital. You feel me?
And you know what doesn't help people? The misinformation. Both the Pharaohs, which you have no emotions on the record, right?
Yeah.
On that record, you have a bar about misinformation.
Yeah, big facts.
That doesn't help people with all these health, all this changing your life. For so long, you'd hear sugar is bad for you, and for so long, I thought sugar from fruit was bad for you. I recently learned, no, sugar from fruit is actually healthy for you. Salt, good glucose, all these things are good for you. Your body needs these things. I just saw the craziest video in the world of what these tribes in Africa do to find water sources. What they would do is that they'd find a baboon, they'd trap the baboon with some type of food or something. They get the baboon and they tie the baboon to a tree. They come back hours later to the baboon and they give this guy salt. They've starved the baboon and they feed him salt. So a baboon eats the salt because it's all he has to eat. The baboon munches out on the salt, and then the next day, I just had to share. I think I saw it yesterday or today.
It's amazing.
Incredible.
The relationship you can have with an animal and what it can lead you to and shit, like out there.
And what's even more amazing is we're so spoiled and lucky that we have water sitting for us in Publix. I have literally a plastic gallon filled right now with water right behind me that I drink every single day. It's incredible.
It's
we have water access to us. And this guy, that video was very high quality too. It couldn't have been shot in the last 40 years. It was for sure in the 2000s. So that guy's going through that to this day probably. There's no way he has like a water jug in the middle of the desert. like they have in the
Crazy.
office.
Yeah.
Can we explain to the audience how you get RZA on your album and the whole Wu Tang?
Yeah, for sure, man. So basically, the Wu Tang, man, like they did a contest and shit where like a lot of people were involved in shit, and they gave out verses like to basically anyone who participated. You feel me? So these verses and shit, they weren't like really publicized anywhere that I saw like a song, or it might have been somewhere on Spotify or something, and I didn't want to waste the I didn't want to waste the record initially, so I put the record on this album because it's like a mixtape album type of like feeling the album has, and I really just wanted to spread my message and continuation of what they do with what I do and shit, and it just put it on the album and shit. You know what I mean? And RZA always said to be independent and shit of how we do things, and I think it's just general information, and as far as how can I help myself and how can he help himself without helping me, you know? So I think it was just a great move to put the record on the album.
Yeah, it was dope. Like I said, when I listen to albums, I don't look at the feature list anymore. So I just, digest it as it goes, and it was a surprise. First, I hear RZA on the album, then I hear, then I hear Capadon, and then I hear everybody start coming out one by one. I'm like, no way, what's going on here? So that's dope that you explained that, but before we started it now.
Yeah, a lot of people never heard those verses, man. Like that's why I had to put it on the project. Like those verses are hella dope, and it's a shame. Like right after the contest, like the song was like fucking like everyone forgot about it. So I just wanted to bring it out there because those guys killed that shit.
So that's a huge. That's a dream.
Yeah, shout out to Wu-Tang.
Yeah, shout out to the Wu. That's a dream collaboration for me. Is there anybody else that you'd like to have a dream collabo with eventually that you haven't got a record with yet? Could be local. Could be, you feel me? Could be, in the industry. Could be anything. Maybe dead. Somebody asked me recently what was like a dead or alive.
Yeah, definitely Big L, man. I wish I was able to collab with Big L.
Dope. That's dope. How about alive? Give me one alive.
Definitely M.
M. Wow. Yeah. You like M's newer stuff?
Yeah, man. Everything he drops is phenomenal. I think his new shit is better than his old shit. I think he just keeps getting better with time because he just emulates what's like trending, and he does it in his own style and shit. So I think like M is probably like one of the best and shit as far as like someone I would want to collaborate work with.
Possibly, yeah. Shout out M if we're listening.
Yeah, for sure.
And we know you are. Yeah. Hit your boy Choco up, man. M and Choco. That'll be raw Choco M's.
Yeah.
Chocolate M&M's.
Yeah, that'll be a dope record.
Does being vegan mess with eating chocolate? You can't eat chocolate?
I mean, like, yeah, you can, but it's not something that's like.
Do you do it?
I mean, once in a while. And
what kind of chocolate would you eat?
I would just like sometimes I eat like a cookie or some shit.
A cookie. That's how you digest chocolate.
Yeah, like sometimes it could be like a vegan cookie or some shit. Like
I'm terrible.
Too crazy.
I'll do like a shake. I'll do ice cream. I'll do.
I can't fuck with the ice cream and the.
Yeah, I'm killing myself.
The chocolate bars, hell no.
No, I try to do a whole chocolate bar, but yeah, you gotta like mix it up. Yeah, I like dark chocolate though. Dark chocolate's nice. Dark chocolate's dope. I'm a fan of mint chocolate as well. Mint chocolate's cool too. Yeah, no, you ever been to Canada?
Yeah. I was out there
what
before.
Part?
I was in Toronto for like a minute. I was in different parts, like in Montreal. I was out there for like about 2 years and shit. Yeah.
Oh wow, 2 years straight consecutively, or like all together 2 years, like in different time spans, like 1 month here, 5 months there, or 2 years straight.
Like yeah, like 2 years straight.
Wow, that's crazy. What brought you to Canada?
I was working with my best friend Wolf and Yoko Gold and shit, and I was doing some business with Tori and shit. And
That's how that connection developed and started through you being in Canada.
yeah.
Because he be out here in Miami. Tori's been in Miami for 15, 20 years.
Yeah, well, like I met like Tori because one of their brothers went to my school when I was younger and shit, and we was just making music together, and he so happened to be in the crib at times when I come over, and that our relationship started like that.
And that opened the door for you to go to Canada in the future.
Yeah, man, because
Because you already had that bond open. And that bond formed.
yeah, but those were my brothers, man. Like I didn't have like no siblings growing up, so his family was like my brothers, like from a different house. So they'll come over, I'll come over to their crib. You know what I mean? No Diddy and shit, and
No Diddy.
and
No
like
Diddy and shit. That's hilarious. We have a separate episode.
you just like listen to Jada Kiss, like J Hood, Cassidy, like more listen to Jay Z, and like they would just show me these different records. They'd be like, "Yo, you see how he did this?" And I'm like, "What?"
You
He's like,
studied the game with the.
"Yeah, like he was like, yo, listen to Illmatic." He was like, "You gotta listen to this." He's like, "You see how he's marketing himself? Like since they were young." Like they was putting me on, you know what I mean? As far as like how to move and shit and how to sound and shit, like to help me develop my style and how to be more intricate and help me sound how I sound today and shit. So like it was definitely a learning experience growing up with them being younger and you know, I seen their brother get into fights and shit, like like beat the shit out of somebody because me would battle, one of his brothers, me would rap battle in the bathroom and shit. And
Bathroom of schools?
yeah, in the lunchroom and shit. We would all head
Right.
to the lunchroom bathroom. We would battle it out. But this one time, one of my brothers, Yoko and shit, probably just want me to tell this story, but he was just waiting on this kid and shit, man, and he
I
looked.
took a battle the wrong way.
No, it wasn't even about
The battle of other things.
I think it was actually
It's personal.
it just took place when we used to battle and shit.
Oh, in the same arena that you.
Yeah.
Right, got you.
Yeah, man, like we went through hell and back, like me and the homies and shit. So,
Speaking of hella back, you fuck with movies? You like movies? Scary movies specifically?
yeah, man, definitely Leatherface. Like,
All right, so we do a draft. Every episode we do a draft, kind of like a sports, like a snake draft. So you pick one, I pick one. We're gonna do today
Alright.
scary movie villain. So we had to pick 3 scary movie villains to hold down the fort and protect like $1 million on some Mr. B shit. We gotta go one by
Okay.
one. So the guest always goes first. Who's your first movie villain that you're gonna draft?
oh, it's gotta be Leatherface.
Has to be Leatherface, huh?
Has to be Leatherface.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good pick.
It gotta be Leatherface.
I'm gonna go with. We're gonna go Michael Myers because he just doesn't die no matter what. So he just comes back. He's got like 10 movies. Not even Busta Rhymes. And if anybody could kill him, I thought it would have been Busta Rhymes.
Damn, yeah.
But not even
Shout out to
could do it.
Bustin'. We know you watching.
Yeah, listen, we know you're wrong. That's hilarious. I got Leatherface, aka Choco Valens, to fucking say it. So yeah, give me your second pick, your second draft pick.
The Terrifier.
The Terrifier, the clown, right? That's the clown.
Yeah,
I just
man.
learned
I'm a
about
big
him.
fan of that dude, man.
I gotta watch the movie. I just saw it on Facebook, like a whole explanation of how crazy the production of that movie is, and how sick, and how the actor had to take a break from a scene in part 2 because it was just so disgusting. It's incredibly crazy movie. So there's a lore behind the movie. That's wild.
Yeah, the animation, they just really take it to like the next level.
Wow. Okay,
Like-
I definitely gotta check it out. 1 or 2? Which one do you like better?
I like both of them, man. But I definitely think the second one outdid the first one.
That's crazy.
and
Most people like the original more than the sequel. But
I think it just gets-
2 is better than 1.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's wrong with this guy, but it's not for everybody. But yeah, man, it definitely takes horror flicks to a different level. And shit.
That's crazy. My second pick, I'm gonna go with a crazy movie villain from scary movies. We gotta go with Hellraiser's pretty crazy with the needles in his face. He's a crazy dude.
Yeah.
That's his name. That's the actual guy's name,
You
right?
know what's crazy? I haven't even seen one single Hellraiser film.
I've seen bits of it. It's so scary. I don't want to watch the whole thing. I've never invested a
That shit
whole
bugged
2
me out
hours.
when I was
because
a kid, I'm not gonna lie.
it's up there with very traumatizing movies. So he's up there. I gotta include him in my 3. Who's your third pick? Who are you rounding it off with? We got the Terrifier, Leatherface, and who's your third pick for the for the security, the security, the Choco Valens security force.
As far as shit,
Scary movies, yeah. Let's keep it scary movies. I did super villains with OG White Boy and Baked Pliskin. So we're doing just scary movies today.
I'm thinking, damn, I'm trying to think. I think he's a.
Give us deep cuts. If it's a deep cut, there's no restrictions. There's something that people could go check out. That's the key.
I would say probably the third would be Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger, because he gets you in your dreams. I was thinking that the thing is the technicality of it. The technicality is crazy because you got to be knocked out, so he's got to get you like he's got to do like Rick Ross and like spike your drink. Yeah, then he's gonna come out with he'll be in the back. It'll be Ross with the blunt of cigar, and then it'll Freddy Krueger right next to him. He ain't even know it. But yeah, I mean, yeah. The thing is, if you're not sleeping, Freddy Krueger's useless. You just woke him up like Jason did in that movie. And I can pick Jason because Jason's manipulated by the ghost of his mom. So Jason's just kind of
Yeah, man.
What about Michael Myers?
That was my second pick, buddy. Where you been? My dad's off camera here saying Michael Myers, which is my
What
second
about
pick.
Spawn?
Spawn's a superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a best. He's not a scary movie.
What do you mean?
Yeah, no.
He's a
You know what?
superhero.
My third pick. This is powerful, and I thought about this when I first came up with the idea when I was listening to your earlier shit, your earlier music, Choco.
Yeah.
I think the third scary movie I'm pick is Ghostface from Scream because Ghostface from Scream
I
changes
was about
every
to pick
movie,
that one.
and the power of that is that Ghostface could be somebody you don't even know. It could be your girlfriend, your friend, your family.
Dope ass villain.
And it's crazy
Yeah.
because it constantly changes every movie, and it's just that concept in general is powerful.
Yeah, that franchise is great. I
Yeah.
gotta catch up on that one. I'm definitely a big fan of them too.
So those are solid big threes. I'm happy with that. And but we always wrap up with a message, Choco. Just give some message to the people, whatever you want it to be.
Industry Blows is out right now, man. And the 6th album is only available on Bandcamp. Shout out to Dirty Five. Shout out to the whole Dade County. And we here, man. Live, man. Get ready, man. The music is on the fucking way, man.
You're live on over there. This is Derek Cash. Like I said, thank y'all for listening. We'll be back next time. Peace.